It says, now broadcasting. I'm going to go to my channel. It should say momentarily that I am live, and it does. I'm going to click on it, and we're going to listen. Hey, I can hear myself. Alright, so that means we are in fact live. Ah, man, it's been quite the rainy start or end to September, beginning of October. Uh, where I am in Canada, we've definitely received a bit of a cold snap as of late, with some of our low time temperatures hitting minus. What are they hitting? Like, well, not minus. Sorry, it might be minus temperatures in nope, because 0 degrees is 32 degrees in Freedom Unit. So it's not 0 degrees in any temperature scale that I'm familiar with, but or below freezing. But we have gotten temperatures on the job site that I've been working at 1 degree Celsius, which is just a degree above zero or a degree above freezing. And then with the wind chill that night, it felt like -3. Now, right now, it's the low right now is 13 degrees, and then the low for today is gonna hit 10, I believe, or that might have been last night's low. So tonight's low might be different. I don't know, but it's fucking cold and it's rainy, and yeah, you can't paint lines on the road when it's raining. So yeah, this has definitely been an interesting week. We had 2 rain days last week, and then this week I worked Sunday to Thursday. So Sunday night rained out, Monday night rained out, and it's still calling for rain tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So I could be back streaming depending on how long I stream this and how long I play for. Whether we finish the game tonight or not, I don't know. But I could definitely be seeing you guys tomorrow night as well. We will see. But yeah, we're gonna get right back into it. We just finished. If you haven't watched the previous episode, at the end there, a little bit of a spoiler here. We
Feel that breeze, huh? I
took
tell
care
you,
of
on
the
a day like
cannibals.
this, I just sit on my porch, pick away at my six string. Once we're done with this whole thing, I'm gonna teach you how to play guitar. I reckon you'd really like that. What do you say, huh? Ellie, I'm talking to you.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure, that sounds great.
Yeah, no, yeah, we had to deal with those cannibals, and we fucked them up pretty good. Ellie did. She did an amazing job. That's one thing that I really wish this game allowed us to do more, was play as Ellie, and then we got a second chance at that in the second game. But that was for
God.
what? Oh, is that a child? I don't know if they're just missing the rest of the leg bones or if that's a child. Anyway, um, yeah, we got to play a lot more as Ellie in the second game simply because um, of how the game progressed. And I've heard rumors, I don't know how true it is, but rumors that currently Naughty Dog is working on another project, which I believe it
I
could be
dreamt about
another.
flying the other night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Go on, tell me about it.
So, I'm on this big plane full of people, and everyone is screaming and yelling because the plane's going down. So I walk to the cockpit, open the door, there's no pilot. I try to use the controls, but I obviously have no clue how to fly a plane. And right before we crash, I wake up. I've never been on a plane. Isn't that weird?
Well, you know, dreams are weird.
Dreams are weird. Anyway, Naughty Dog might be working on another Nathan Drake game. I don't know what projects they're working on. I'm not a huge fan of Nathan Drake like the Uncharted series. I tried to play one game. It came in a bundle with my PS4. Wasn't a fan of it. The Last of Us was definitely more up my alley in terms of games that I like to play. And yeah. So with the
Look at that. Another city, another abandoned quarantine zone.
another, I just about said exactly what he said. Brain doesn't work too well right now. Yeah, one thing that sucks. Fuck, my brain stopped working. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the.
There's that hospital the Firefly mentioned. Come on, kiddo.
There is a lot to this game that I don't. Holy, I can't think when I'm trying to fix this. I was a huge fan of the Nathan Drake or Uncharted series, but rumor has it, or that Neil Druckmann confirmed, is that they've begun writing story
Maybe
for
we
a
cut through here,
third Last of Us game, and I would really like to see a game set. Well, there's a few areas of the story that I would like to see. So, the 20 years between the start of this game and the death of Joel's daughter, Sarah, would be a good premise for the game to see more into the details of the collapse of humanity. How quickly things spiraled out of control and all of that type of shit, right? It would be nice to see that aspect of the game, although it would be, I think, a lot more grimy and gross and triggering than the aspects of the game that we currently get to see, right? Like, a lot of people don't like this game because of the fact that it deals with, like, you know, watching Henry shoot himself after the death of Sam, or yeah, that's what it wants me to do. I can see that, but I want to keep looking. And you know, the fact that Ellie like brutalizes that cannibal and whatnot, right? Like, there's definitely a lot of portions to this game that are pretty bloody and pretty gruesome that people aren't really a fan of, which I can get it, right? Like, there's first-person shooters and this and that, but, you know, like, a Call of Duty is a lot less realistic than this, and by proxy, that just means that, you know, this, with it being a lot more realistic in terms of the blood and the gore and how you interact with the environment and, you know, the more darker trends of, humanity.
Well, we could use that ladder.
It's definitely
Here we go.
part of those, you know, like, if this is how bloody it is right now,
Ellie.
I can only imagine,
Ellie.
What?
The ladder.
Right.
I can only imagine how gruesome that 20-year period would be, especially if you learn that Joel was at one point the hunter's looting, similar to the hunter aspect of it, where he was looting off of people and whatnot, exploring how you go about living life and becoming a survivor, and, you know, the horrors that are involved in that, right?
Oh my god.
Whoa. What is it? Ellie! Ellie!
Yeah, it's one of those things where
You gotta see this.
What is it? I don't see anything.
it would definitely be interesting to see how that played out. Another good portion of the story that I think I would really like to see is the time frame, the 3 to 4 year period. Because what Ellie in the second game is 18 and she's 14 here. So yeah, that 4 year or so period between this game and the second game. And then another aspect of the story that I would love to see. Still don't see it, Ellie. I know it's coming, but I don't see it yet. It would be nice to see that aspect of the game played out. And then, of course, the storyline after what occurred in the second game. I don't want to go into too much details.
Come on, hurry up.
Yep. Although I don't think I have, I think I've already mentioned some of the aspects of the second game.
You see this? Shh, don't scare it.
I won't.
What are you doing?
It's all right. Come here. Hey, Bella. Hurry up. Come on.
Hey there. So fucking cool. Oh, where's it off to? Here, come on, let's go.
Slow down, kiddo.
Come on.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things you would like to see. Yeah, I would like to see played out. So there's at least 3 more games I would like to see made to explore those. And then we could sort of get the full story from the collapse of humanity to the story of Joel meeting Ellie and how that played out. And then, of course, seeing the storyline between the first and second game. And then seeing the aftermath of the second game and how the decisions Ellie made in that game, you know, how they unfold. And I think that would be a perfect series. Hello, triangle? There we go.
So, is this everything you were hoping for?
It's got its ups and downs, but you can't deny the view, though.
Can I not turn that off?
We don't have to do this. You know that, right?
What's the other option?
Go back to Tommy's. Be done with this whole damn thing.
After all we've been through. Everything that I've done. It can't be for nothing.
Well, yeah, if there's one game though that I would really like to see, more than anything out of this series, it would be the years between this game
Look,
and the second game.
I know you mean well, but there's no halfway with this. Once we're done, we'll go wherever you want. Okay?
Well, I ain't leaving without you. So let's go wrap this up.
Yeah, they, it would definitely be something I would like to see, is the storyline between these two.
There's that comic of hers.
Continuing that storyline and seeing how they, you know, how that relationship develops before the events that transpired at the beginning of the second game is something that I would really like to see. And then of course, I think that would be a good way to end the series, so you don't have to get into the bloody gore and guts of it before this game, and you don't necessarily need to tell the story that transpires between, but a prequel, I think, to the second game, but after this game would be nice. And then I think if they were to continue the series, which realistically this game is a very profitable series, hence why they upgraded the first game again to PS5, graphics and whatnot, and I hope they do the
This
same
place
with the
takes me
second
back.
game.
How so?
That was right after everything went down. I ended up in a triage just like this. And everywhere you look, you just saw families torn apart. Whole damn world seemed to have turned upside down in a blink.
Is that after you lost Sarah?
Yes, it was.
I can't imagine losing someone you love like that. Losing everything that you know. I'm sorry, Joel.
That's okay, Ellie.
But yeah, that would definitely be something I would like to see played out. But they are going to, with it being such a profitable game, I would like to see them remaster the second game as well. Even though, yeah, technically it was just released, like, not even a year before the fucking PS5 was dropped. So the graphics are still really good. I've played it on PS5 already. I'm gonna have to do a stream of it, of another Let's Play or playthrough of that, because my previous playthrough, I think, that I did was on PS4, and 720p does not do that game justice, and I'm kind of hoping I can do it without YouTube deciding to end my stream without telling me while I'm still streaming, because PlayStation said I was still streaming, and then I look at my YouTube app and it says your stream ended an hour and a half ago, and I'm like, I am still streaming according to my PlayStation. And apparently they cut my stream off because they said it wasn't suitable for younger audiences and all advertisers. And it's like, I specifically told YouTube in, like, through my settings for my content, it's not designed, or, I'm not making content for children. I never have. Like, I'm fucking 24. I started making YouTube videos, I think, at 16. But, I swear, I carry on. I really don't, I'm not going to censor who I am for the sake of
Hey, Joel.
children wanting
I
to
got
watch
something for
this.
Here. Maria showed this to me and I stole it. I hope you don't mind.
Well, no matter how hard you try, I guess you can't escape your past. Thank you.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, no, I'm not making content specifically for kids. Kids, but I'm gonna pause this while I get my thoughts out of my head. I'm not making content specifically for kids, but I guess for whatever reason, YouTube's like, yeah, no, we can't. Despite what you've told us, your shit's not suitable for all audiences, so we're cutting your stream off. It's like, go fuck yourself. So I'd like to redo it where part of the stream doesn't get cut and do it in smaller chunks than like big 12-hour streams like I started doing there. And have it experienced in at least 1080p, 30 FPS. I think that's what I'm streaming at. I might be able to check my broadcast settings right now, actually. If I click on that, you guys should still be able to see it. That's overlay options. I can turn on the camera. I don't have a camera though. Overlay options. Yeah, okay. I've got nothing. Nothing I can. I think I'm at 1080p 60, but I could be wrong. for my streams, even though I'm watching the game in 4K 60, which 1080p is better than 720p all day, every day. It's at least HD. So, yeah, I would like to redo the game, but it would actually be nice if they made a PS5 version of it, not just a PS5 port, so it could actually be run. Because I played it at on the PS4 Slim, so it was like still 1080p 30 FPS at best. It was never going to be 4K for me because I didn't have a Pro. And yeah, so it would be nice to see that remastered, but apparently they've talked about not doing that, making a port for it for PS5. Which when they announced the game, because they called the original Last of Us,
This time it's gonna be different. I just know it.
What do you mean?
They're gonna be there. The Fireflies. I'm sure of it.
because of the game, or when they released this game or announced it, and it said, Last of Us Part 1. At first I thought it was Last of Us Part 2 is what they said it was going to be. And, because I saw the part, and I was like, oh, Part 2, yeah, that's what they called the second game. And that's, what's going to happen. But then it wasn't the case, right? It wasn't Part 2, it was Part 1. And why it confused me is because originally they just called the game The Last of Us. Then you had The Last of Us Part 2. And then Last of Us 1 was remastered for PS4. So you had The Last of Us, then The Last of Us Remastered, then The Last of Us Part 2. So I thought, when I saw The Last of Us Part 2... I figured when you saw The Last of Us Part 2, it was going to be a PS5 remake of the second game, just like they did for PS4. But I was wrong. It was a PS5 remake of the first game. And I would like to see a PS5 remake of the second game as well. That would be really nice to see. And then, of course, it would be nice to see... a PS5 game exploring the time between the first and second game. But because it was such a profitable series, I do think there's a high chance that there will be a game denoting the 20 years previous and the years after the second game. Anyway, back to the task at hand. There's one bloater at least. That's the guy right in front of me. That signature there looks big. It could be a bloater, but it could just be a clicker. That smaller signature there, directly in front, is a clicker. And that one over there is probably a clicker. He's gonna climb up, isn't he? No. Good shit, Ellie.
Holy shit.
Stay quiet.
I guess I could have, what happened to him? He just disintegrate? Oh, there he is. Dead. bricks. Just kind of hoping they were ammo. Alright, that was, where was it? Back here? Yeah. Take that out of the equation. And then we're gonna go looking for some more ammo. So there's definitely more shit up ahead, because they wouldn't have me continuing running like this if there wasn't more shit up ahead. Alright, that's it. Well, I can see that. Okay. Alright. That must have been an animal.
Stay back.
Well, backed myself into a corner there.
Holy shit.
Stay quiet. Stay back.
Holy shit.
Stay quiet.
Some of these spawning respawn points are not great. What point? So okay, so I've lost all of my shit. I've lost all of my fucking. Did it give me credit for killing one of them? I don't get it.
Stay back. We killed him.
Okay, so it gave me credit for doing some of the
I think we
damage
got
there.
him.
I think you're right.
And Barons are right. All right, you think you can shove that crate down?
No sweat. Okay.
Pretty sure we're close to the end of the game. I can't remember. Was this where she's gonna walk along the edge and I'm gonna go for a swim?
I'm on the other side.
Cool. Drop that ladder down for me.
All right, hold on.
Can I not climb that? I guess I gotta climb here. Not my finest work there with those two bloaters. It's a lot easier to handle one than it is two. Is this really where I have to place it down?
All right, just stick to the edge. It's shallow over there.
Come on. Not like this.
There's another one.
Well. Chris. No, the water.
And another jam door. All right. Move foot.
Okay.
Come on. Get that door open. Look out! Ellie! You okay?
Me, you Yeah. It just surprised me. Man, I can't wait for those things to be wiped out.
Hey, get the door.
That second shot where I pretty much just shot Ellie right through the fucking spine. So there's a level 5. Where's this a level 4? I am the sharpest tool in the shed. Depending on the shed. In other sheds, I am the dumbest. Or the not sharpest. The case of Well, I guess technically this is going to be the last big, I think this might be the last big upgrade spot. I think. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if I'm at that point in the game where we're pretty much done. And I think we are. I don't have any extra gears here, like to do what I want. You could improve the recoil on that, but I don't need to. This I could do better with later. Reload speed. Might be the only thing that's worth it, is that there, but like capacity I'll do actually on this thing. Having 2 shots instead of 1 would definitely be something that would be good. It's definitely interesting, because if I did, I've got 2 places for a bullet, but I've only got one fucking one fucking barrel. So how's that second shot getting loaded in there?
Well, there we go.
You alright, Ellie?
All right.
Nope, I didn't want to do that. Thought it was a talked thing. So I heard you breathe. I heard her breathing pretty heavily.
That should help us out.
Here we go.
All right.
I got no room for tape. That was 50 gears there. Anything else on that? No. So explosive powder. Full on tape. Not full on these things though. Okay, I can make a shiv. A shiv is definitely going to be more important to me right now than those bombs. Full on tape again.
Watch your head. Hey, look. There it is.
Yes, ma'am. There it is.
I'm not going.
Okay, well, that's something I'm gonna want full lung capacity for. Almost lost my controller.
I need to get up there.
Damn, that seemed like a perfect place to hide something. Is there gonna be something that jumps out at me? I hate that. It's like, that's the scariest thing. It's like, that's when you're most fucking vulnerable, is right then.
You made it. All right, come on. Give me a cross.
All right. Get on.
Okay, there. I'm on it. Be careful.
I got you.
There we go. I don't know if there's a way for me to get across there. I could do the age-old, gotta go fast. And you could stand on that if you got up on it carefully, but I mean, you can get on a surfboard.
Stand back.
Oh, that's how. That's how you'll get me up there.
Damn ladder broke off the wall.
Now what?
I'll figure something out.
I know I can't swim with the ladder, so I gotta do this, don't I? Why is my shiv already down there? I use. Did I pry open that door with a non-full shiv, so when I made another shiv, the game was just like, well, we'll let you open the door, even though it wasn't full shiv, and then we'll just take a use off a shiv later? Because I don't recall opening anything else since I made that shiv. I believe I made the shiv using the shit I found in the room. I used the shiv to open the door, too, so, Well, second time's a charm. Alright, cool. Nothing to make me shit myself with. Excuse me.
I see. Good idea.
I try. I don't have many, but when I have them, they're usually pretty good.
Oh boy.
Let me go ahead, and you follow my lead.
Okay, right behind you.
Sorry, just adjusting my headset. What have I got in the way of? Oh, nothing in the way of that. Supplements there. Do I die if I jump in the water? I kind of want to find out. Okay, yep, you do. I was like, look, I can swim. Then I drowned.
Let me go ahead, and you follow my lead.
Okay, right behind you.
Can I get in there? Nope. Can't make that jump. Looks like there's something in there, so
Let me go ahead.
I do want to
You
try to
follow
get in
my
there,
lead.
Okay, right
but
behind you.
I think I'm gonna do it in a different way. Yeah, Joel does not jump nicely.
Okay, come on, jump.
You're gonna catch me?
I got you. See? You didn't even need me.
Let's get the hell off this thing.
That's fair.
Whoa! Ellie, move!
I'm in the bus, That triangle came up quick. Another button. Give me another button.
Ellie!
Look, you made it!
Ellie, give me your hand! Give me your hand before...
Come on, get through there. Your head above the water.
Hands in the air! She's not breathing. Hands in the fucking air! Come on.
Welcome to the Fireflies. Sorry about that. They didn't know who you were.
And Ellie?
She's all right. They brought her back. You came all this way. How'd you do it?
It was her. She fought like hell to get here. Maybe it was meant to be.
I lost most of my crew crossing the country. I pretty much lost everything. And then you show up, and somehow we find you just in time to save her. Maybe it was meant to be.
Take me to her.
You don't have to worry about her anymore. We'll take care
I
of her.
worry. Just let me see her, please.
You can't. She's being prepped for surgery.
The hell you mean, surgery?
The doctors tell me the cordyceps, the growth inside her, has somehow mutated. It's why she's immune. Once they remove it, they'll be able to reverse engineer a vaccine. A vaccine.
But it grows all over the brain.
It does.
Find someone else.
There is no one else.
Listen, you were gonna show me where she...
Stop. I get it. But whatever it is you think you're going through right now is nothing to what I have been through. I knew her since she was born. I promised your mother I would look after her.
Then why are you letting this happen?
Because this isn't about me, or even her. There is no other choice here.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that bullshit.
March him out of here. He tries anything, shoot him. Don't waste this gift, Joe.
I'll show you a gift.
Get up. I said get up. Go on. Move. I said move.
You're gonna get it first.
Give me an excuse. Which way? The fuck you doing? Keep walking. I said keep walking. Where was the operating room? I ain't got time for this. Where? Where? Top floor, the far end.
I told you you'd get it first.
The smuggler, he's in here. Right here!
Cover me. I'm moving up. Got your back. Hallway.
Peek it, bitch.
Don't lose him. dead, asshole!
What was that, Ricochet?
You over there?
Not here!
Wow.
What's that? Nothing.
Got any surprises for me, huh? Over here! Where the hell are you?
My goal here is to not die. That is ultimately my goal. That seems like it's going to be more important. So far my aim has not been spectacular, so...
Down this way. Stay alert. Dear God. It's a fucking massacre over here. Search every inch of this floor. Find this guy now.
Oh, recoil.
I got him. Move up.
Fuck! Can I restart that? Can I restart that? That was...
Down this way. Stay alert.
Yeah. Okay, but actually I want to do that again. Because I want to do this.
Down this way. Stay alert. Cover me. I'm moving up. Got your back. I got him.
That was a better, that was better. That's an attempt I can be proud of. Okay, swap weapon. I'm not allowed to short ammo here. So I've got machine gun and I've got shotgun. That's pretty much it.
Come on down there. Did you hear what I... Whoa! The fuck?
Okay, you gotta get better, buddy. Ammo? No. Heals. Could a hospital please have more bullets in it? Thank you. That'd be great. Nobody should be behind you, Joel. I guess they are. There was a reason we could go down there, though. I think. Fuck it, I'm going for it. There's gotta be a reason. There's nothing. Damn it! I was hoping there'd be like some shit down there or something.
April 28th. Marlene was right. The girl's infection is like nothing I've ever seen. The cause of her immunity is uncertain. As we've seen in all past cases, the antigenic titers of the patient's cordyceps remain high in both the serum and the cerebrospinal fluid. Blood cultures taken from the patient rapidly grow cordyceps and fungal media in the lab. However, white blood cell lines, including percentages and absolute counts, are completely normal. There is no elevation of pro-inflammatory cytokines, and an MRI of the brain shows no evidence of fungal growth in the limbic regions, which would normally accompany the prodrome of aggression in infected patients. We must find a way to replicate this state under laboratory conditions. We're about to hit a milestone in human history equal to the discovery of penicillin. After years of wandering in circles, we're about to come home, make a difference, and bring the human race back into control of its own destiny. All of our sacrifices and the hundreds of men and women who've bled for this cause, or worse, will not be in vain.
It will be. Why do they all seemingly have fucking bullet holes in it? I guess that's where I'm supposed to go. Yeah, because that's all blocked off here. Right? Yeah. Okay.
It's 5:30 p.m. on April 28th. I just finished speaking, more like yelling at our head surgeon. Apparently there's no way to extricate the parasite without eliminating the host. Fancy way of saying you gotta kill the fucking kid. And now they're asking for my go-ahead. The tests just keep getting harder and harder, don't they? I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. And I just want this to end. So be it.
Okay, well, I guess I've checked out everything I can check out. Oh. Okay, that's just an alternate way in, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Alright, let's take a look here. Running across the Utah border in a couple of days. We'll be back with the others. Today the crew is in much better spirits. I've been worried about their morale since Greg and Tina's passing last week. Let's continue them laughing again. Robin came up to me and said thanks for watching over us, Merlene. It was a small gesture, but I needed it. Ellie never made it. We arrived at the hospital. There was much celebration, at least from the others. I guess they're happy to see their old friends. We haven't seen some of these guys in over 10 years. They told me the news. I couldn't eat. I couldn't talk to anyone. I should be grateful just to be alive, but right now I just want to shut my eyes for a bit. They look at me and I know what they're thinking. That we're a bunch of incompetent grunts. What was I supposed to do? I thought I was going to die. My men were being hunted by the entire Boston battalion. I had to get her out of the city. How was I supposed to know the Firefly escorts were already dead? God damn it. I panicked. In the end, I healed pretty damn quickly, and my men were more capable than I gave them credit for. More than a handful survived the Army's attacks. I should have kept her with me instead of handing her off to a couple of smugglers. I failed you, Anne. I failed all of us. I am an incompetent grunt. I can't stand to talk to any of them. I don't think I can take the stairs any longer. No way I can stay here. One of our scouts just radioed in. He spotted an older man and a younger girl entering the tunnel by the bus terminal. He thinks she might have red hair, but he's not sure. What if it's her? Stop doing this, Marlene. The recon squad is about to head out. When you're lost in the darkness, look for the light. She's alive with a running test on her now. Can't tell if I'm excited or scared or just nervous. All I know is my hands won't stop shaking. Well, I'll be able to stop your hands from shaking. Well, I guess that's the way. Is there anything, nothing. Alright. Yeah, I see them.
Yeah, that's it. I'm coming, Ellie.
She brought the kid all the way from Pittsburgh. That's all I know. Marlene insisted on questioning him herself.
At least 6. Okay, there's only 1 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do I still want to count 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, maybe there's 7. Okay, that's your pathing. Okay, come on. Yeah, look the other way. You don't see it.
What's that? Over here! With us! Don't let him get
Cover me! I'm moving up!
Oh, fuck you.
Dead, asshole!
Am I?
Surround him! You're gonna pay for that!
Am I? Nothing. Anything I can pick up or grab. Full on health. Well, nope, I guess that's it.
should buy me some time. Sweet Jesus.
Doctor?
What are you doing in here? I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
No! You fucking animal!
Unhook her. Those that last two were for your daughter.
Come on, baby girl. I got you. I got you. Oh, shit. Shit.
He's over here.
I'm getting you out of here, girl. I got you.
Cover the exit.
I got you. Come on. Damn it, which way?
Got nowhere to go.
Oh, I got plenty of places to go.
Go around to the other side.
We're okay. We're okay. We're okay.
Your last chance. Drop her. Now. I got him in my sight.
I said get back. Under fire. Hey, come on, stop.
He's not gonna lose his kid again.
You can't save her. Even if you get her out of here, then what? How long before she's torn to pieces by a pack of clickers? That is,
got
if she
her here,
hasn't been raped
Marlene.
and murdered first.
It ain't for you to decide.
It's what she'd want. And you know it. Look. You can still do the right thing here.
No, I don't think I can.
She won't feel anything.
What the hell am I wearing?
Just take it easy. Drugs are still wearing off.
What happened?
We found the fireflies. Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie. People that are immune. There's dozens, actually. Ain't done 'em a damn bit of good, neither. They've actually... They've stopped looking for a cure. I'm taking us home. Sorry.
Wait! Let me go. Please.
You just come after her.
Well, I guess the reason it took me longer than the first playthrough is because I suck.
Well, looks like we're walking. Should be a straight shot through here.
All right.
It's actually kind of pretty, ain't it?
Yeah.
All right. Now watch your head going through.
Here. I got it.
Oh, feeling my age now. Don't think I ever told you, but Sarah and I used to take hikes like this. I think the two of you would have been good friends. I think you really would have liked her. I know she'd have liked you.
But I would've.
Look down there. Just a little bit further now.
Well, yeah, no, Sarah would have been 30-something in this game. In the events that transpired after.
Here, I got you. Give me your hand. All right, come on.
She was about 14 at the time.
Hey, wait.
Maybe 12. Should be like 32, 34, something.
Back in Boston? Back when I was bitten? I wasn't alone. My best friend was there. And she got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So... she says... let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
Oh, you don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you... no matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
That is the end. Well, I guess while some of the music here is playing, we can have just a conversation. This is a game that holds a special place in my heart for me. It's definitely a game that I know isn't for everybody. It's a game that definitely gets into the grime and the nitty-gritty of humanity and the lows that humans seemingly are capable of stepping to. In the game, I guess, one of the things is, given the end of civilization and humanity as you know it, it's clear that that's what brought a lot of the evil out in these people. But even in times like in recent history, like well, not so recent, but like world wars and whatnot, you see that humans are capable of truly evil things even when the world isn't coming to an end like it is in the game. And reeling with the good versus evil and where you line up on that side of the coin, and how your opinions on what is good and evil may shift given the situation of the world around you. And it's definitely something that not a lot of games really battle with. Similar game styles, I guess, with the end of the world and Question and whatnot. Maybe other zombie survival games, definitely The Walking Dead in the series there, but also games like Fallout, where they, these games like this where they sort of get into the weeds of humanity when the world is collapsing. But this game definitely, I feel, portrays things in a more realistic sense. Not necessarily like the Walking Dead is also a more realistic game, especially the TV show adaptation of it. It's a game that tells a story in a way that you could definitely foresee humanity falling, right? With not necessarily in terms of a zombie apocalypse or a outbreak like they had here with a fungal infection that makes the host turn violent. But, given the state of the world that we are in now with the war in Ukraine or the aftermath of the pandemic and the rise of a lot of right-wing fascist movements across the globe right now that seemingly are pushing the world to further division rather than unity, looking at what, the potential evils and what humanity could stoop to, is even in a game like this, it sort of really puts the world into perspective, and you kind of have to figure out for yourself where you would land. It's one thing to say that, like in a real life situation, would I have actually done what I did there as Joel? I don't know. I don't know how I would fare in a situation like this. Would I make it 20 years past Outbreak Day, or would I succumb quite early on? I don't know. If I did make it past the outbreak and this and that, how would I go about my life? Would I do some of the things that Joel did to survive, whether it be, looting and stealing from other individuals and killing to survive, or would it be more along the lines of Tommy, where I fight for a cause that I believe in, like the Fireflies, and try to eliminate martial law and these, federal quarantine zones in an attempt to, try to find something to restore, humanity, right? To be able to create some sort of community and some sort of government body and this and that would allow ourselves, the humanity, to prosper, even in the aftermath of everything that is, everything that has transpired. And I don't know how I would deal with some of these things, how I would push myself, where I would fall on any different sides of humanity. But what I can say is that there are definitely things that Joel and Ellie and others had to do to survive that I don't know if I would be capable of doing, right? Like, it's one thing in a video game to shoot a dude's head off. It's another thing to do that in real life. the idea of fighting in a war and this and that. As it stands right now, I don't really have a need or means or want to go out and pop somebody's head off their shoulders, but in a situation where it was, kill or be killed, fight for what you believe in, fight for what is right, fight for, the good of all of humanity, or just fighting for my own survival, would I be able to resort to taking another person's life like that, wiping out, hundreds of people in the pursuit of, what I am fighting for, what I believe in, right? That's something that I don't know how that would translate, but you never really know until you're in that situation. Now, aside from the humanity and the look into what this game can really, or what it portrays, the game is definitely, it has a storyline that manages to capture you and keep you locked in. Starting out with the beginning, with the, seeing Sarah on the couch, and you watch her as she, looks at the clock and waiting to give her dad a gift and this and that, and, the relationship there, and the fact that within that first 30-minute window, that storyline, that expectation of, this relationship between father and daughter comes to a close. And this game explores that and puts you through a roller coaster of emotions at the beginning of the game, and then with that coming through, you start to see the ups and downs of Joel over, towards the end of that 20-year period, and how it leads into, the storyline between him and Ellie and the people they lose together and the things that they go through. And it's a storyline that has a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but no matter what, it always finds a way to keep you trapped in to the story and the design. And although a lot of people will argue that this was not a remake but more of a remaster, it was more this than that, or that than this, and whatever, I really do think that this is better than a remaster, but it's not quite a remake. They, Naughty Dog and whoever else would definitely want people to believe this is a remake of the game, but it isn't. They're overhauling different portions of the game, whether it be the graphics engines, the AI, all of these things, and they're putting a game together that, has been upgraded and remastered to an extent. But then beyond just a simple remaster, they're adding more, high fidelity, more frame rate, more this, more that. They're using original screen captures and motion captures to create more fluid movements, and they're, redesigning the scenery and this and that. But there's definitely things that people wanted from the second game that I would have loved to have seen, like the ability to lie down in tall grass and go prone and get kills that way, the ability to craft silencers, and, the whole dodging and countering in melee combat was a lot more involved in the second game. There are definitely things I would have loved to have seen brought here, but this wasn't intended to completely change how that storyline and how that was played. And I do think making a lot of those changes to that game would be something that some people might not have enjoyed, right? And the fact is, I enjoyed playing the first game. I enjoyed the way it played. And I will admit that some of those quality of life things would have been nice to see. But even without them, I'm still able to enjoy the game and have fun. Now, I did find some issues in the game, and I thought some of them were bugs, but I think most of them just ended up being me being an idiot. But ultimately, this game has definitely lived up to everything I could have wanted in a PS5 port. Could the graphics have been a little bit better? Yes, but they were using film motion capture from pre-2013. There's only so much more you can get out of those renders and out of this and out of that to produce, what we saw here. But this is leaps and bounds better than both the PS3 and PS4 version, the PS4 remaster as well. And I would like to see them bring The Last of Us 2 to a remaster as well, and upgrade it to the PS4 PS5 specs and do some little quality of life improvements and this and that and release it again. So you can play the full, first and second game on the PS5 and on its upgraded hardware and have these games looking at their best for, the gaming world and the world we live in currently. Could it be better in the future? Yes, but I think right now this is pretty much the peak of what we could get out of these games. Now, this storyline, again, it's a storyline that when I first learned about the game, I think I explained I got this game included in a PS3 bundle, and it was either this or some other game, and I decided to go with this because the guy at the store described it as a zombie game. Little did I know that this game would become a franchise and a game that I would fall deeply in love with, that I would get connected with these characters, and I would, at the end of this game, you can see how they sort of set it up for a secondary game to be made. Now, the secondary game came at a time that people didn't want it to come back at, right? They wanted to see the time between the end of this game and the start of the second game first. It seems like by skipping those years, they definitely prevented people from getting the experiences they wanted, which was a more cooperative Ellie and Joel playthrough, right? Where you have games and scenes that are played through. Did my game just freeze? Did the game just freeze? Am I still streaming? Hello? I think it just froze. I'm going to assume that I am still streaming. Yeah, I think the game just crashed. Anyway, what I'm going to get at here is that a lot of people wanted a storyline where you could play as Ellie, you could play as Joel, you could switch out in a way more than you were able to switch out here. And I think a lot of people were happy that they got to play as Ellie in the second game, but we're missing out on that aspect of Joel. Anyway, I could go on for hours and hours about how much I love this game and how much I love the story, but I was mainly doing this because I wanted the credits to go through. I wanted everybody to experience the credits, but it definitely seems like the credits have ended because because I don't even know if I'm still live. I really don't know if I'm still live. I really don't. Am I still live? If I go to my channel, yeah, it says I'm still live. So, yeah, anyway, I could talk for hours and hours and hours about this, but at the end of the day, this is just a game that I really love. I really love the story. I really love the design of the game, the feel of the game. And I am excited to see where it continues. It is definitely a franchise that I want to see more from, but I don't want to see it milked beyond its usefulness, like series like Call of Duty, right? Like Call of Duty was a huge departure from the standard games. It was multiplayer. It was a first-person shooter. It was this. It was that. It was, a outlier in the gaming industry at that time, and it sort of set the stage for what multiplayer first-person shooters and shoot 'em up style games would become. And it helped develop things like looter shooters and this and that in a way that like a game like Destiny, which sure, it's a first-person shooter, but it's also a looter shooter, and it's massive MMO, right? Massively multiplayer online, and all of these other things, right? Like it's without Activision and Call of Duty, there are a lot of things in the gaming industry that we might not have seen, like a game like Destiny or a game, like this and that. But The Last of Us is definitely a game that takes, it's not first-person shooter, it's a third-person shooter. It's a story-based game. It's, not just a run and gun, but you gotta be stealth, you gotta be this, you gotta be that. It takes a lot of things that I like from shooter games. It takes a lot of the things I like from story-based games. It takes a lot of the things I like about, stealth games and this and that, and it sort of combines them into an experience where I can be run and gun, or I can be stealthy, and I can be immersed in a storyline, and it does all three of those things very, very well. And unlike Call of Duty, which seemingly continues to pump out a game every year with minimal changes, minimal this, minimal that, a lackluster campaign, and then a very big push to the, free-to-play Warzone game with unbalanced maps and gunplay and this and that, and all of the other issues that trouble the Call of Duty games as of late. I don't want to see that happen to The Last of Us, right? I like the idea of The Last of Us, this remake. I get a lot of people are upset about the price, and they're upset about this and that, and you know what? You can be upset. There are a lot of people that didn't get to experience this game on PS3. I even have friends like that. There are many more people who didn't get a chance to get it on PS4. And the idea that, there's a lot of people out there who didn't get to experience the storyline, who didn't get to experience this game, and are now getting to experience it in the best way, with way better graphics, way better feedback through the controller and everything else. The PS5 really gives this game its best foot forward. And so bringing it up to the standards of next gen, which I gotta stop saying because it's technically current gen consoles, is something that I was happy to see, and that I am glad I got to experience, but that a lot of people who never got to experience the game before are going to come into this and have a much richer experience than they would have if they went back to the other versions of the game. And to see that same treatment happen to the second game, even though it still looks amazing on the PS5 using the PS4 version, but seeing that being ported up to support the adaptive triggers and the the DualSense functions with the haptics, and upgrading some of the graphics and fidelity, and ray tracing, adding a lot more support to that to bring the game up to next gen, aka current gen tech with the PS5 would be great. And there are gaps in the story that I would like to see filled in. I would love to see the 20 years from the outbreak to the start of this game, and how Joel went about surviving. I think that would be a really good, version of the story, but it would be really gritty and, show some of the lowest points that humanity could stoop to throughout that 20-year period. Whether it be the uprisings at certain quarantine zones to, the birth of the Fireflies and this and that, and maybe play into some of the storyline between how Joel and his brother had a falling off, and things like that. It would also be really cool to see the 4 or so year period between the end of this game and the start of the second game. That would definitely be something that honestly they could come out with as just a DLC to the second game if they upgraded it to PS4. Or they could spread that 4-year period out into a full game. I don't know, but realistically, if I look at everything I've done on this game, I did 3 hours, then I did another 4 hours there, and then 40 and 20 is 60, so that's another hour. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, and then whatever this live stream is currently, we're sitting at under 2 hours, so what did I say, 12, 13, 14, 15, this game is actually a lot shorter than I remember it being, and it's shorter than the second game, which for each playthrough I do, I've played through the second game 2 times or 3 times now, I can't remember it. I know for sure it's at least 2. And I believe my time between those 2 games was one was 23 and a half, 24 hours, and the other was 25, almost 26 hours. And the second playthrough, the reason why it took longer was simply I was trying to find more collectibles and shit to get some more trophies. So now ultimately, if I don't spend as much time looking for things and trying to find things, just like I did in both my first playthrough and my second playthrough, theoretically I think I could probably do that whole game at a reasonable pace within a 20-hour period. But a 20-hour game versus this being like, I think if I was at 12 or so, this would have been 14 hours, right? So give or take about 13 or 14 hours for this game, and give or take, 20 to 22 hours, or 20 to 22 hours for the second game, right? So it's almost twice as long, give or take, like, because 14 and 14 is what, 28? And if this game took 22, so yeah, it's a little less than, double the length, but still, it's a significant number of hours longer. And so if we could get that 20-year period in a single game, right, even if that's a 24, 28 hours, somewhere in that range, right, 24 to 28 hour game, right, that would be a really good storyline. And then the storyline between this game and the second game, that could be another, maybe make it the same length as the first game, right, like another 14 or so hours, maybe bump it up, 14 to 18, or push it up towards 20, whatever, right, anywhere, like, even if this was a 16 hour, that storyline was 16 hours, it would still be a really good storyline. And then it would be nice to see another game set after the story events of the second game. And what that would mean is you had the two games that came out, right? The Last of Us Part 1, The Last of Us Part 2. And then they basically set it up perfectly that there could be a prequel or whatever, like a moment before the first game, a moment between the two games, and a moment after the second game that could be filled in with 3 consecutive games. And I think that would be the limit. I think if they did that, they did the 20 years before this game, the 4 to 5 between the first and second, and the time after the second, this could be a 5-game series that I think would be, you could happily hang that up and have a really compelling story for people to enjoy. I hope that becomes reality. The game I would prefer to see most, I think, would be the one in between the first and second game. After that, I would love to see the time before and the time after. Those are pretty equally, right? The time before the first game and the time after the second game. But the one I would love to see made most is the time between the first and second game. Anyway, I'm not going to keep talking about this. I'm going to end it here. And then I'm going to be coming back live relatively quickly because there is the other game. The other aspect of this game is the fact that it comes with the DLC that came out with the original game, which is Left Behind. And that goes into the storyline of Ellie and Riley. And, not all the way back to, their birth, but into the storyline of them, of how they ended up becoming infected and this and that, and basically the story that explains how Ellie found out she was immune. And that is definitely a story that plays into the character arc of Ellie, right? One thing that this game did really well was tell the outbreak portion, right? Like Outbreak Day, all of that stuff, and showing the death of Sarah, Joel's daughter, as a means to show, the consumer, me or whomever else is playing the game and consuming that media, that, that helps explain to the player why Joel is the way he is, why he acts the way he acts in a lot of situations, why he may come across as so brash, something like that, why he is so grumpy, and why he has done some of the things that he has done in his life, could point back to the fact that the start of the outbreak ultimately led to him losing the most important thing to him in his life. And, the death of a child is something that can often break apart marriages. It can break apart, countless things, that you would think, so-and-so had, there was a death in the family or this or that, and, families are able to move past it. But the death of a child can ultimately split couples apart, this and that, and really ruin. You're not supposed to die before your child. It's your child's supposed to bury you, not you burying your child. And so the fact that he lost his kid could explain a lot of why he is so callous. And a lot of people would like to say that Joel is the anti-hero, right? Which I can see. Because if him letting Ellie die for the sake of a vaccine, if it worked, and if this and if that, then ultimately the hero of the story would be Ellie, right? She sacrificed her life for the great of mankind, the the greater good of mankind, and created a vaccine that would allow life to potentially go back to some sort of normalcy. There's that avenue. And, the idea that Joel would then turn around and not only kill the people he's killed and do the things he did in that 20 years previous, but then continue to make choices based off of what he deems to be right or what would be best for him, rather than the betterment of all of humanity. It definitely seems like he is out for himself and himself alone. And to an extent, I agree with that, but I also can understand how much, after what Joel lost and everything else, that he would do the things that he did. And so he might be an anti-hero in terms of the idea that, the right thing to happen there was for a vaccine to be developed, and because he didn't let that happen, he's evil. But I can also imagine that myself and potentially many others might have done a similar situation, especially given the fact that you traveled across the almost the entire damn country to bring this girl somewhere, only to find out that everything you've done, the people you've lost, the people you've killed, the things you've seen and gone through, and that she's gone through, is coming to an end in that way. And for Ellie, it would definitely seem like that's the way she wanted it, right? That all of these deaths mean something because it meant that she was able to become the source of the vaccine. But in terms of Joel, that was not, he didn't want to see all of those deaths result in one more death for the sake of, a potential cure, right? Because again, that's the whole if and or buts about it, right? Is the fact that she could have been killed. Her brain could have been extracted and the cordyceps and everything else, and it could have come back that no, she died. Her immunity meant nothing. They can't synthesize a vaccine from it, and that's the be-all and end-all. And that would be pretty fucking shitty, right? And I can understand that in Joel's mind, the whole way along he's like, well, I'm not too sure I believe that they're going to make a vaccine, or I've been hearing about this for decades and haven't seen anything being done, and yada, yada, yada. And so in his mind, it's like, no, I'm not going to let her die on a hope and a whim and a prayer that this works out, because in his mind, he doesn't believe it would work. He doesn't believe it would pan out, and that by him just giving up and leaving and letting Ellie die means that he can't, he already couldn't prevent the death of his daughter, and he couldn't prevent the death of Tess, and now he can't prevent the death of Ellie. And so I can see both sides of the story here, where it's like, Joel has continued to lose people he loved, people he cared about, and wasn't able to prevent those deaths. And this is one case where he's like, I can prevent this from happening. I can prevent her from dying. So, anti-hero in one sense, yes. Hero in another, maybe. But, yeah, I'm going to have to end the stream, then I'm going to have to close this application, and then I'm going to have to launch into the second game, or into the Left Behind DLC, and start that up. So, anyway, yeah, that's been my thoughts on the game. I hope you guys, who did watch the series or watch me play through it or watch any parts of it, have enjoyed it. I mainly record this for myself, because I do like to go back and see some of the things I've done over the years and whatnot, and even though I don't even have 100 subscribers, I don't this, I don't that, I'm not necessarily making this content for the sake of making money, because I don't make any money off of this. I'm doing it because I like to share what I do, I like to share it with friends, and I also like to be able to come back and look at these things later on in my life. So if at all you come across these videos and you watch them, you enjoy them, you like what you see, I'm glad you got to enjoy the story along with me, and I hope you can excuse my horrible aim at some points. But yeah, if you do like it, right, I'm gonna have to do the whole YouTuber thing. Consider liking or subscribing, whatever it is you'd like to do. You don't have to, don't feel obligated, because at the end of the day, I know this channel's not gonna go anywhere. You know, becoming a YouTuber is, YouTube is now a very saturated market. Becoming a big YouTube star is something that boat has come and gone for myself and many others, and especially with the whole advertiser-friendly shit that YouTube's doing, will never take off anyway. So don't feel obligated to subscribe or like or whatever, but do feel free to check out anything else on the channel and see if you like it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys shortly.